The book of Exodus is a pillar of the Old Testament. It's the second book in the Bible. Exodus tells the story of the Israelites' escape from slavery in Egypt. This book is a powerful testament to God's power and faithfulness. It lays the groundwork for key themes in the Bible. These themes include covenant, redemption, and the promised land. Exodus begins with the Israelites living in Egypt. They have been there for generations. However, a new Pharaoh has risen to power. This Pharaoh sees the growing Israelite population as a threat. He enslaves them and makes their lives bitter with hard labor. Despite their suffering, God has not forgotten his people. He hears their cries and remembers his promise to Abraham. This promise is to make Abraham's descendants a great nation and give them the land of Canaan. God will raise up a deliverer for them, Moses. The book of Exodus is more than just a historical account. It's a story of faith, courage, and liberation. It speaks to the human experience of oppression and the hope of freedom. Exodus continues to resonate with people of all faiths and backgrounds throughout the centuries. Section 2, The Rise of Moses, from Exile to Deliverer. Moses is born into a time of great peril for the Israelites. Pharaoh has ordered that all newborn Hebrew boys be killed. To save her son, Moses' mother places him in a basket and sets him adrift in the Nile River. The basket is discovered by Pharaoh's daughter, who takes pity on the child. She raises Moses as her own son, unaware of his true heritage. Moses grows up in the luxury of the Egyptian court. However, he never forgets his roots. One day Moses sees an Egyptian overseer beating a Hebrew slave. He's outraged and kills the Egyptian. Fearing for his life, Moses flees Egypt. He finds refuge in the land of Midian, where he marries and becomes a shepherd. Years later, God appears to Moses in a burning bush. The bush is engulfed in flames, yet it is not consumed. God speaks to Moses from the fire. He calls Moses to return to Egypt and confront Pharaoh. God tasks Moses with leading the Israelites out of slavery and into the Promised Land. Section 3, Plagues and Passover, the Exodus from Egypt. Moses returns to Egypt and confronts Pharaoh. He demands that Pharaoh let God's people go. Pharaoh refuses, so God unleashes a series of 10 devastating plagues upon Egypt. These plagues include turning the Nile River into blood, swarms of locusts, and the death of the firstborn. Before the final plague, God instructs Moses to tell the Israelites to sacrifice a lamb and mark their doorposts with its blood. This event is known as Passover. On the night of the 10th plague, the angel of death passes over the homes marked with the blood of the lamb, sparing the firstborn within. The Egyptians, however, are not spared. Pharaoh's own son is among those killed. The death of the firstborn is a devastating blow to Pharaoh. He finally relents and allows the Israelites to leave Egypt. Their departure marks the beginning of the Exodus, a pivotal moment in biblical history. Section 4, Wilderness Wanderings, a test of faith and obedience. The Israelites, numbering in the hundreds of thousands, set out from Egypt. They are led by Moses and a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. Their journey is not easy. They face hunger, thirst, and attacks from enemies. However, God provides for them. He sends manna from heaven to eat and water from a rock to drink. While the Israelites are camped at Mount Sinai, God calls Moses up to the mountaintop. There, God gives Moses the 10 Commandments. These commandments are a set of moral and ethical laws that form the foundation of the Israelite covenant with God. The Israelites spend 40 years wandering in the wilderness. This period tests their faith and obedience. They grumble against Moses and God, longing for the comforts of Egypt. Despite their doubts, God remains faithful to his promise. He guides them towards the promised land. Section 5, The Enduring Legacy of Exodus, Lessons for Today. The book of Exodus is a timeless story of faith, freedom, and the power of God. Its themes of liberation from oppression, the importance of covenant and law, and the faithfulness of God continue to resonate today. The Exodus story has inspired countless people throughout history. From the American Revolution to the Civil Rights Movement, the story of the Israelites' escape from slavery has given hope to the oppressed and challenged the consciences of the oppressors. The book of Exodus reminds us that God hears the cries of the suffering and that he acts on behalf of the oppressed. It teaches us that freedom is precious and worth fighting for. Most importantly, Exodus reveals a God who is faithful to his promises. even when his people are not. For these reasons, the story of the Exodus continues to hold profound relevance for us today.